welcome to the Make More Noise podcast. I'm DJ Lippy.
And I'm Sobering Maid.
So first off, got a name, haven't we?
Woo!
Yeah, what's the name?
It's Suffragette City Radio.
So, yeah, we did a poll and that was the most popular.
Yeah, I like it because, we're both from Manchester, Great Manchester. It is a suffragette city, home of the Pankhursts.
Yeah.
And yeah, we've got a lot of opinions and thoughts, and we like to draw our feminism, trace it back to, you know, the Pankhursts and the...
Back to the roots.
Yeah.
Plus, it's a David Bowie song.
It is.
And it sounds really cool, Suffragette City Radio, so
that's us. What have you been up to since last time we gathered here to record the podcast?
I kept my New Year's resolution to stay off Twitter.
Yeah.
I got banned.
That's one way to do it.
Yeah. I called somebody a dickhead. Granted, it was not the most, not the best way to comport yourself on the internet, but I got really annoyed. I had a pile-on because I criticised porn for 3 days. People telling me that it's okay to watch women being whatever because she consented. And then I called somebody a dickhead and I got banned. Which has been good. I've been taking some time away from social media. It's really addictive, Twitter. So I've just been, DJing.
Cool.
I'm going to put a link out. You should all follow me on Mixcloud, Lippy the DJ, because I am an actual DJ. I'll put a link in the description. So I've been, just DJing for a couple of weeks.
Cool. Well, if you have any other big DJ gigs coming up in Manchester, we should give them a shout out.
Yeah, give them a plug.
Yeah, cool.
What have you been up to?
I have been doing a bit more reading. Some more books came through. Pornography by Anne Rousseau, Gail Dines and Robert Jensen came through. Been reading that. Just been doing a bit more thinking about like the roots of it and the ideas behind it, and helping me to kind of criticise other stuff, but coming from a place of knowledge as well, like stuff that's always made me feel uncomfortable. I'm finding out that I know I can put a name to why this system feels a bit unfair and stuff. So I've been enjoying that, and I've been doing a bit more out and about, as you suggested, doing more stuff in real life.
Oh, yeah.
So I've just been doing that, meeting up with more women's groups, just getting a bit more involved, just, doing stuff.
Grand.
Yeah. So we've got a couple of topics we want to talk about today as well, and other feminist news that we're going to chat about at the end too. So what did you want to talk about today?
Okay, I wanted to talk about, there's a study being released by Disabilities Trust and the Royal Holloway University. They looked at 173 women at HMP Drake Hall, which is a women's prison, and they found that 65% of them had traumatic brain injuries. And 2/3 of them had received them from a violent partner. So they used the brain injury screening index, and they found that this sort of is quite a startling figure, really. I think it compares relatively with the male prison population, but it's just leading to problems with their behaviour in prison. So just leading to more training in terms of how to manage the behaviour. But it's quite a shocking statistic, really. Follows up. Women in prison study showed that 79% suffered domestic violence or sexual abuse. And it's adding to what we do know about this prisoner population. Very, 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 very vulnerable population.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, it's shocking but not surprising to me that there's such a high incidence of women who've experienced sexual violence. Because women don't really commit violent crimes at the same rate as men, do they? It's
no, and in not to justify it, but it's physicality. Women are a lot more vulnerable. Bones break easier, thinner skulls, and if a man attacks a woman, there's a lot more likelihood that he's going to cause a serious injury. So
really, a lot of these women, a lot of the prison population, female prison population, they're actually victims themselves.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's also quite interesting how it presents. So in one study that was done, women often report problems with anxiety, depression and sleep. Men complain that they've got problems with concentration, feeling irritated or annoyed. So all the treatment plans can you guess which gender they've been, designed for?
Oh, I don't know.
Which one? Can you guess? So there's actually needs to be a lot more work in how that they manifest. The symptoms are often different between the male and female population. So it's creating a treatment plan that's tailored for women.
Yeah. And if there was actually a treatment plan tailored for women, I imagine that if and when these women are released back into society, if they actually had a treatment plan, then they could integrate into society more easily, and the reoffending rates would probably be a bit lower if they were given that support.
I think it's something, and it goes for both prison populations really. It's not really taken into consideration when we talk about rehabilitation, is the amount of people who have behavioural issues because they have a traumatic brain injury, So it's not just a case that they're disobedient or bad eggs. Yeah, they've been battered, so they're actually unable to comply with certain rules in society. So yeah, that's what I've been looking at this week.
Is there anything that we can do about it, or just any way that we can make a difference?
If you want to check out, who is it? Disabilities Trust. They're the people who commission the research. They're doing a lot of research around this. So go on Google their website, find out what they're doing. I'm sure there's ways you can support them.
Interesting. Am I right in thinking that the female prison population is statistically it's a lot smaller than the male prison population as well? There just aren't as many women in prison, and there's not as many female prisons, is there, compared to male prisons?
Oh no, it's a lot smaller prison population. Just generally, women are a lot less violent than men. Also, they tend to be caregivers, so they've got children, so a judge is a lot less likely to send a lactating mother into prison. Interesting fact, did you know 20% of the female prison population, do you know why they're there?
Self-defense, drugs?
They didn't pay their TV licence.
What?
Yeah. It's a true figure.
What?
Yeah. See, the BBC is evil. Like why,
I'm actually stunned by that.
Yeah, it's a true statistic.
20% just because he didn't pay the TV licence.
Yeah.
My God. I'm going to hazard a guess and say that these are low-income women as well, who probably have like chaotic lifestyles due to a number of factors. And then now they didn't pay the TV licence because, God forbid, they want to try and relax and watch something in those spare moments that they do have. And then they didn't pay the TV licence and now they're in prison.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's a criminal record though, like why have you been in prison or I didn't pay my TV licence? You're still going to come up on a CBS check, aren't you?
Yeah.
That's going to really impact your ability to
find work after.
Yeah.
How can they justify that? I'm really shocked by this. I'm thinking of all the times when I was a student and like I actually did pay my TV licence because I was afraid. But like so many of my mates didn't.
No, I was rebel for like 5 years, just kept moving around, not paying my TV licence. Yeah. But, this is the thing. And it's really expensive. It's like £200 or something.
Yeah, it
like
is.
A Netflix subscription's like, what, £10 a month? So
less than, yeah.
Like, just sack the BBC. The BBC's rubbish now anyway.
I mean, I feel conflicted about the BBC because I really believe in the power of public service broadcasting, and I think the BBC, it is the best public service broadcaster in the world for the amount of content we get and the variety of content we get. But there are a lot of problems in the BBC, and I'm not like standing for the BBC uncritically. There's a lot of problems, and a lot of problems within the BBC and a lot of problems with its content, but I feel like we should reform rather than discard.
It's massively sexist, isn't it, as well, like the gender pay gaps.
Oh yeah,
it's an alarming figure.
Yeah, I mean, without giving away too much personal information about myself, but I worked at the BBC briefly, and it is a weird place. It is really weird, and there's a lot of built-in inefficiency within the BBC. It's hard to explain, but I still feel like
loyal.
Yeah, and all like it's the BBC. Like they do make incredible programs, but then there's just so much buffoonery that goes on. And now I find out like I don't think are they the enforcing arm of like the TV license people. I don't think they are. But the fact that 20% of the female prison population is in prison for not paying the TV license, I'm stunned by that. Like not drugs, not violence committed in self-defense.
No, TV license. That'll learn them, won't it? You won't be doing that again.
Yeah. Right. Is there anything we can do about that? Talk to the MP about the fact that women are in prison for not paying the TV licence.
I say we all stop paying our TV licences and see, like, chuck us all in prison. I don't know. That's just something I thought I'd chuck out there. I don't think there's a campaign. I just don't think people know about it. I don't think it's in the consciousness of, the general population.
And where's that statistic from?
You're testing me now. I don't know. My brother's partner is training to be a lawyer.
Right.
And she's just done a topic on the prison service.
Right.
And she was telling me this, and I actually questioned her again, like, is that sure? Is that correct? That seems extortionate. And she's like, no, that's, like, I learnt it at university. So
yeah,
if they're teaching lawyers at university, then I'm pretty sure it's
true. Yeah. Oh my God. But yeah, coming back to the brain injury and female prison population in general, I don't know, do you have any ideas on how we can solve women in prison generally? Just like, blue sky thinking.
I just think prisons in general are a really random solution to the problem of crime.
Yeah.
Like, if prisons didn't exist and you was explaining to somebody, like, this person's done something really bad and we need to punish them, we need to find a way in society to deal with bad behaviour, which we do need some sort of redress.
We need to remove murderers from society, but some way. How do we do it?
Yeah, well, I just think if you would have told somebody, right, we're going to put them in a room for like 23 hours a day for like a set amount of time. Okay. And then that'll reform them. They'll learn a lesson from that. Like, it's a historical process that has created prisons. They don't really work, and I just think they're really random, and I don't know if they're the best way to go about rehabilitating people or dealing with serious problems. I think there's going to be a minority of people who are very dangerous, who need to be isolated from society. But the majority of people, like I say, that statistic about 20% being in there for not paying TV licence, like, it's an inappropriate way to deal with most offences.
Yeah.
And even, a lot of people in there have got learning disabilities, mental health problems, trauma from abusive backgrounds.
Other compounding factors, how is it helping them being in a room for however many hours a day?
And I mean, if prisons were what they were supposed to be, to reform somebody, to give them the skills they need to get out in the world, that would be great, but the budgets have just been slashed and slashed and slashed and slashed. So, it's no wonder that people are not coming out, reoffending, coming out, going back in again, and I think the CBS check as well, like, if you've got a criminal record, that's it now. What work can you get? It's going to be there for the rest of your life. So it's stigmatising people. To be honest, I don't know what to do. I mean, there's a lot of talk about restorative justice, which I get the idea of it, but I just don't think it's putting the victim first. Having to sit in a room with your abuser while you've got to forgive him or something. Like, I'm not sure if that's the best option for women. I know that's being suggested quite a lot, and I know there's a lot of prison abolitionists, and I was all on board for that. I was like, yeah, get rid of the prisons. It is a stupid system, but their solution is just like free everybody.
Yeah.
And I'm like, are you insane?
Yeah.
Do you know any of these people? Like, I know these people. They're out there, like, the psychos. Like, I'm not having them coming back. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I mean, what do we do? Punish them? Just
Yeah.
like, you could do capital punishment, corporal punishment. Get the stocks, bring back the stocks. Do you let the victim have like 5 minutes with a screwdriver alone in a room? Like, I don't know if that's not a solution, but
we need to be having wider conversations about it, because the current system currently isn't working.
Well, we don't know whether or not it's for like rehabilitation or punishment.
Yeah.
And I think we need to have that discussion, because I do think there is an element of punishment. If I was a victim of something, then I do want to feel that I've got justice.
Yeah.
So how to give the victim justice, but also reform the offender so they don't do it again.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think if we did know, then we
wouldn't be having this
wouldn't be
conversation.
having this conversation, would we?
Yeah. I mean, well, and they used to put poor people in prison, and it's just, I'm just coming back to that 20% of people for not paying the TV licence. Like, just putting poor people in prison.
Well, they do. I mean, aside from TV licences, not paying fines in general and debts, like, that'll put you in prison, won't it? So
yeah.
I don't know the best way to deal with people, but I guess it's breaking down and separating violent offences and non-violent offenders, and that's probably not the best way to deal with the problem.
Interesting stuff.
Yeah.
Food for thought. If you have any other questions or any comments, or if you have any further reading for us, do send it in. Tweet us at MakeMoreNoise1 on Twitter, or you can send us an email, make.more.noise.mank@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you, and let us know if you agree, if you disagree, if you want to direct us anywhere. We could tweet out as well if you have any other information.
Yeah. So what do you want to talk about this week?
But for a change of tone, I want to talk about makeup and the beauty industry. So, I wanted to start by asking you, what was your first experience with makeup? So we're both women.
Yeah.
Women are more wear makeup more than men.
Yeah.
What was your first experience with makeup?
Interesting. I don't know. Like I remember trying to put it on and just being really bad at it, and just feeling I've got like quite a baby face, and I looked like 14 till I was about 20. So I always felt a little bit ridiculous with makeup, like I was a little girl putting on a mum's makeup.
Yeah.
And I don't know, nobody really teaches you. It's just one of those things that you acquire over time, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I'm not really big into makeup. I'll put it on if I'm trying to get sex, basically. that's it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to give up the illusion. Like, you start a new job, like the first week I put makeup on every day, and then like I just stop because I've got shit to do. Like, I'm really busy and I can't be bothered doing makeup every morning. So I don't have much truck with it. But to be honest, it's not for feminist reasons. It's just because I'm lazy and I don't think I'm very good at putting it on. So I don't do it unless I'm going out for a night out or something like that.
Yeah, I remember raiding my mum's makeup bag and just finding stuff and experimenting. And I remember I had like this kiddies makeup palette thing, and I remember my younger sister ruined it, and I was livid. But I seem to recall growing up with this idea in my head that women needed to put on makeup to look beautiful because then we would have value. And I didn't think about it in those terms as a kid. I just knew that it was nice if you put on makeup and you got attention, and it was a good thing for girls to wear makeup and look nice. Now as a feminist, I realise it's because I'd absorbed those messages of women need to look good to have value. And then and I had like all the weird makeup phases of like a 13-14-year-old, like bright blue eyeshadow and matching blue lipstick or whatever. These young girls, they don't have that anymore because they have like Instagram where they can, or YouTube where they can watch amazing tutorials. They don't have the weird awkward makeup sparkly cheek glitter thing anymore.
The green eyeliner.
Yeah, green eyeliner. They don't have that. But yeah, when I got like as an older teenager into sixth form, when we were allowed to wear makeup at school, I kind of stopped being as into it. I would just wear it for a night out, or if I was trying to get a boyfriend or get sex. And I just remember as well thinking, I'm actually all right with the way that I look.
Yeah.
But have you seen Mean Girls?
Yes.
You know that scene where they're all like, all the girls are looking in the mirror like going, oh, I hate this about myself, I hate this about myself. And then they all look at Katie and she's expected to say something that she hates herself as well to bond. And she just goes, oh, I have really bad breath in the morning. I just felt like that was me. Yeah. That I didn't hate myself. Yeah. I didn't understand why these girls like did.
Yeah, it's like a bonding thing, isn't it? You're like, oh, I've got the worst tits. Mine. Yeah. Like, you've got to like self-flagellate yourself.
Yeah.
And so if you don't, then it's like you've got a big ego or a big head or something.
Exactly, because girls hate it when other girls like have these big egos, and well, men hate it especially as well. But yeah, I remember just kind of making up stuff that I hated about myself, and I feel like even now, saying this now, I need to preface it by saying, but I know I don't have the perfect body. I feel like I need to, but I just didn't hate myself because I was just out in the world just doing stuff.
Yeah.
And I think part of it is, and I know there's like a bunch of other compounding factors that will make somebody have self-esteem issues, and I'm not saying it's as simple as this, but I think part of the reason I didn't hate myself so much was because I had hobbies and stuff like that. I actually did other stuff, like I danced a lot as a kid, so I was using my body to do something cool, like it did stuff. It was dancing and my body allowed me to dance, and I was all right at dancing, so I wasn't necessarily looking in the mirror and thinking about how my body looked all the time, because I had a different relationship to my body. Because it could do, you know what I mean?
I think that's the thing. I think I've when I was younger, I think I had more body issues and more self-esteem issues, but I've been quite fit now for about 10 years, and I think being physically active gives you a different relationship to your body, and I think you want to look You want to be fit, not for the way you look, which is okay. It's a brilliant side effect.
Yeah.
But it's just having that feeling of a healthy body. It does change your relationship to your like body and your sense of self.
Yeah, you don't feel so separated from your body because your body just is you and it does stuff.
Yeah.
But I do wear makeup now if I'm going out. I don't wear it for work. And part of that is political because I feel like this is my face and my face is enough. I shouldn't have to hide it.
Would you get a makeup tattoos? Like,
no.
If somebody just like very light, like just forever and you never have to do it ever again.
No,
and it's just done.
And I wouldn't, and that's political because I don't think that women should have to.
See, I actually would. I go and get my eyebrows waxed and tinted, and I get my eyelashes.
Oh, do you?
Dyed.
I
I've not
didn't
done
know
it for
that.
a little while. Yeah, because I'm lazy, but I like to have like striking eyes, and I can't do the plucking.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not really very good at it. So I get the Asian ladies to thread it, and then it's just done. Then that's like a little bit of admin I don't have to worry about. So if I could get like a bit of eyeliner tattooed on and some, I would.
Yeah,
I would. I'm sorry, I'm vain and. I'm vain,
but I feel like I'm really vain as well.
Yeah.
But it's more like I just think I'm the shit.
Well,
without makeup.
Yeah. Well, to be honest though, we're both attractive women. So whether or not I would feel differently if I wasn't so. God, I do sound like big-headed now, don't I?
But why do women do this though? Why do we like constantly? And I want to talk about this idea that women we can never. Well, it's like twofold. Women only have value if they look good, but also we can never acknowledge that value. It has to be bestowed upon us by someone else. Mm-hmm. We can never be like, I look pretty good.
Yeah.
And it's that song, that One Direction song. That's What Makes You Beautiful.
Yeah.
You don't know you're beautiful. And it's that phrase that you don't know you're beautiful and that's what makes you beautiful. It is so gross.
Well, if you are beautiful, because people tell you all the time, and because you can get fit people. Like, you're pretty good at knowing. You
get treated better.
You do get treated better.
Yeah.
I fluctuate sometimes when I get fat. I can literally see my social status go down, and I'm like, you guys are so shallow.
Yeah.
You do get treated better if you're good looking, and it's a terrible indictment on society.
Yeah.
And I don't know if guys have it the same.
I think it's changing, but I think there is a bit more pressure on men. But to be honest, I'm going to sound horrible now, but I'm really not interested in talking about men's self-esteem issues because they've not been oppressed by society for not wearing makeup and stuff or not looking good the way that women have.
Shall I give you a little quote here?
Go on.
Because I sent you this the other day. I saw we were going to decide what we were going to talk about. It's Margaret Atwood. I love Margaret Atwood, and she gives this quote: male fantasies, is everything run by male fantasies? Up on a pedestal or down on your knees, it's all a male fantasy. That you're strong enough to take what they dish out, or else too weak to do anything about it. Even pretending you aren't catering to male fantasies is a male fantasy. Pretending you're unseen, pretending you have a life of your own, that you can wash your feet and comb your hair, unconscious of the ever-present watcher, peering through the keyhole in your own head. If nowhere else, you are a woman with a man inside watching a woman. You are your own voyeur.
You don't know you're beautiful. That's what makes you beautiful.
See?
It's the same sentiment. And I wanted to talk a little bit about the beauty industry. I've got some facts and stats as well, but about the beauty industry, this kind of, and Dove are really bad for this Real Beauty campaign. And it really annoys me. And I remember, and there's probably maybe some listeners going, oh, but I really liked that. I really responded well to that. And this is absolutely not a judgment on anyone. But so they have different shapes of women and whatever, and saying that they're beautiful because everybody's beautiful, but the conversation is still about women being beautiful. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like it's still just another, we're just like redefining beauty, but saying but beauty is still where your value lies.
It's still, the value is still placed on beauty. I mean, it is Dove. It is a beauty product. It sells.
They're selling
products,
stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
But you're right. I think a lot of body positivity, it's been sold as feminism, and I understand it is a great message to teach people to be happy in their own bodies and to be confident.
That you don't need to look a certain way.
Yeah, but is it feminism?
The conversation is still about how we look and not what we think.
Yeah,
or what
is
we
it
say
feminism?
Or what we do.
Is it feminism? It's something else. It's like, I don't know, self-esteem or body image, but to say it's a feminist issue is to make everybody feel confident to get their boobs out, or have a beach body. Like, you don't need a beach body.
Yeah.
It's not really telling women that they need to work on themselves as whole individuals. It's always how you look, not who you are.
Yeah. There was a Dove advert a couple of years ago, and I remember my mate said, I love this advert. It was the one where women would describe themselves to a sketch artist, and then the sketch artist would do the sketch, but then random people that they met in the foyer before would also describe them to a sketch artist, and it was like the difference between how you see yourself and how someone else sees you. And like how you see yourself, you'd be like, my nose is so fat, my earlobes are so droopy, or whatever. And then somebody another person who was describing you to the sketch artist go, oh, she has really lovely sparkly eyes and all of this, and it's nice. You always are your own worst critic, but the conversation is still about how we look. Why is it always about how we look? What is wrong with being ugly? We'll say, like, we might see an objectively ugly person, but we'll be like, they're beautiful, though. They've got their own beauty. Why does it matter? What is wrong with being ugly? What is wrong with being an ugly woman? Like, ugly men, people still respect them because they care about what they're saying and what they're thinking and what they're doing, if they're doing something great. But still, with women, it is still, even if she is objectively ugly, why isn't that fine?
Yeah, well, it's because we're seen as objects in society.
This is it.
It's the subject-object divide.
Yeah.
Women are not seen culturally as actual people, and we're just ornaments to look pretty, aren't we?
Yeah. I've got some stats for you as well. So I've decided as well, and I'm saying this, I do wear makeup because I do want to look nice, like when I go out on a date and stuff like this as well. And I've realised I've gone on a rant, but I'm not immune to it. I do think I look better with makeup, but is that because of the messages that I've absorbed, or what is it? Anyway, and I still I buy these brands as well, but I just want to give you some stats. So can you guess the sex of the CEO of the Estee Lauder group?
Is it the male one?
Ding ding ding! It's Fabrizio Frida. The CEO is a company called Givaudan or Givaudan, and they make active cosmetic ingredients for all the top brands as well. Can you guess the sex of the CEO of that?
Male.
Yeah, it's Gilles Andrier. So the top brands. So the CEO of Avon is a dude. The CEO of L'Oreal.
Oh, can I guess? I quite like this game. I keep winning.
Okay, CEO of L'Oreal.
Male.
Yep. Yes. Jean-Paul Agon. CEO of Revlon.
Male.
Female.
Ooh.
Only since last year. Prior to that, for years, and she's the first female CEO. Prior to that, was a dude, Fabian Garcia. The CEO of MAC Cosmetics.
Male.
It's John Dempsey. Yes. So we have all these brands as well, but so these big companies that own a lot of these brands as well. Like, I don't know if you heard of Procter & Gamble.
Yeah, they own like all of the cosmetics. And
so Procter & Gamble, can you guess the sex of the CEO?
I like this game. Male.
Is David S. Taylor. Yes. The brands that Procter & Gamble own: Olay, Always, Pantene, Head and Shoulders, Aussie Hair Care, amongst others. Can you guess the CEO of Unilever?
Male.
Alan Jope. Unilever own Dove, Fair and Lovely, which is a skin lightening thing we don't have over here, but skin lightening is a massive issue.
It's big in
the global south and in East Asia.
It is in Manchester. If you go to Longsight, all the Asian. It's like a big Asian community there.
Yeah.
And you go past the shops and it's advertised.
Is it?
Skin lightening cream.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not over. It's
here as well.
It's here as well. It's
I'm not
everywhere,
surprised by that. I lived in Hong Kong for a year, and there was like so much skin lightening stuff there, and it's bad for your skin. But yeah, so Unilever own Fair and Lovely, Impulse, Pond's is in Pond's cold cream, Radox, Simple skincare, St. Ives, Show, Timothée shampoo and conditioner, Tony and Guy hair products, Tresemme, Vaseline. So Johnson & Johnson, another multinational thing that own loads of brands. Can you guess the sex of their CEO?
Oh, I'm bored of this game now. Male.
Yeah, it's Alex Gosley. And they own things like Johnson & Johnson, baby products and stuff like that. Aveeno and Neutrogena. So there's another major company. It's called Louis Vuitton Moet Hennessy. And it's like they own loads of brands.
Is that the brands that they just those three?
Yeah, but that's the company group. Their CEO of that, can you guess the sex?
Male.
It is Bernard Arnault. Arnold. I don't know how to pronounce it. Lots of French names.
Yeah.
They own Dior, Sephora, which is like the American like Boots, like American makeup big thing. Sephora, Marc Jacobs, Givenchy, Benefit Makeup, Fenty Beauty, Rihanna's thing, and Kat Von D. So if you're all listening here and thinking, but there are female beauty CEOs, like Rihanna runs Fenty, Kat Von D runs Kat Von D. Yeah, they're owned by Louis Vuitton Moet Hennessy, which is run by a dude. Most of the top board are dudes. So when we're buying makeup and beauty, we're just giving our money to men, and men are dictating what women should be doing. And so I'm trying to stop giving the male-run beauty industry my money, even though I bought like a Benefit palette the other day because it was proper nice.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we're perpetuating it. But can everyone just stop wearing makeup? If we all just stopped, everybody did a boycott, then like we wouldn't look comparatively worse.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I heard an interesting thing once on the Guilty Feminists podcast.
Oh yeah.
And they were talking about makeup, but they're quite liberal, so they like loved it. And it was interesting, the history of it. It was only until the Victorian era that men stopped wearing makeup.
Yeah, yeah.
Before then, men used to wear as much makeup as women.
Yeah.
And it was when Queen Victoria, when Albert died, she introduced mourning to like the whole of the royal court, so nobody was allowed to wear any makeup.
Right.
But when she moved to Scotland, the women started putting on makeup again. The men didn't, and so that's where the tradition comes from. Men stopped and women kept it up.
Interesting. Yeah. Back in I was reading something that in pre-Abrahamic religion times as well, men would like cover themselves in makeup and stuff to make themselves look appealing to women.
Well, eyeliner's a thing in Egypt because it's good. It keeps the sun out of your eyes or something. Yeah, like it has a purpose. I quite like a bit of eyeliner on a man.
So do I.
Like, it's quite sexy, isn't it?
This is it. I think like I like makeup. It is fun, but I think the fact that it's women that are expected to wear it, and because beauty is our value, you know. Like, and whenever a man wears makeup, we're all like, oh, he's so brave or whatever, or oh, it's this, oh, it's that. But
it's subversive, isn't it, if a man wears makeup, because he's like defying gender norms, so it's like, oh, he's brave. Or
we never call a woman brave for wearing makeup. It's just expected.
Not wearing makeup's not seen as like anything. It's just seen as are you okay?
Yeah,
are you well?
You look tired. And but so I'm not telling everybody to chuck out the makeup, but I just think we need to have a robust conversation about it and not just kind of hunker down the defences and go, oh, but I like wearing it, it's a choice. Like, we should examine where those choices come from and why it is that women are more valued on their looks than men.
Yeah, I mean, women are called the fairer sex. We are known as the fairer sex. So why do we have to put all this makeup on if we're so pretty? Like, you're telling us we're ugly. Like, you are, like, you know, objectively more beautiful than men. Okay, so why do I have to cover my face with this stuff if I'm, you know, beautiful?
Yeah. So if you have any thoughts or any beauty recommendations, because I do love buying new makeup, let us know. But any thoughts, any further reading, any other criticisms? Do you really disagree with us? You know, it's feminist because it's your choice, maybe. Then tweet us or send us an email, makemorenoise1 on Twitter, or make.more.noise.mank@gmail.com.
Yeah, that account just rolls off your tongue, doesn't it?
Do we have any feminist news coming up? Any things that are coming up?
Feminist news. International Women's Day is coming up.
What day is that on? It's the 8th of March. I thought you had it up. I wasn't trying to test you. I just thought you had it up and were going to tell me. Yeah.
No, I don't know. It's the 8th of March then. Brilliant.
Yeah. Get involved in your local groups or see what's going on the news, on Twitter, on social media. Get involved on something. I'm sure there's loads of stuff happening up and down the country, across the world for International Women's Day. Yeah,
I've got something locally if you're in Manchester. Mm-hmm. Hang on, I'm trying to bring it up.
It's all right. I'll talk about the history of International Women's Day, which I think started as like a labour movement. Yeah,
it was Friedman, 1934.
Oh, I didn't know that. You know more than me.
Yeah, it's socialist. It's a socialist movement. I don't know. Rosa Friedman is a famous trade unionist.
Are you not thinking about Prof. Rosa Friedman?
No. Yes, I am. It was somebody. I'm really failing at this, like, knowing things today, aren't I?
It's all right. Well, yeah, if you know about International Women's Day, tell us, because we clearly need to be educated on it. Tweet us or send us an email.
There is a working class movement library.
Oh, yeah, in Salford.
Manchester, in Salford, yeah. It's 2nd of March.
Cool.
2 o'clock till 4 o'clock. Remembering resistance, a century of women's protest in the north of England. That was good, actually. It's free.
What day of the week is that? The 2nd?
It's a Saturday.
Saturday. I might come along to that. Cool.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah.
If you have any events near you, let us know. We'll try and tweet them out. Get a bit more traffic. I mean, you know, all 2 of our listeners, if you're there, hi mum, send and let us know what's going on, and we'll let people know. But yeah, if there's anything else you want us to cover for next time, any other topic ideas, do let us know as well. And we've come to the end of Suffragette City Radio, and we really enjoyed the card game reading out about new feminist figures that we didn't really know about last week. So we've got a new one this week. I think it's your turn to educate us on somebody. DJ Lippy, who have you got today?
Right, this is Harriet Stanton Blatch, suffragist political leader, 1856 to 1940. It was Sojourner, brackets truth, who first gave my pride in my glib reading ability a dedicated jolt. The duty was assigned to me to read the morning papers to Sojourner as she sat smoking her pipe. One morning, greatly puzzled, I ventured the question, Sojourner, can't you read? Oh, no, honey, she answered quickly. I can't read little things like letters. I read big things like men. So-called Harriet Stanton Blatch, daughter of the great suffragist leader Elizabeth Cady Stanton. Blatch grew up among many of the icons of the movement for women's rights who helped extend her vision to issues of class and race. Blatch was a feminist activist at Vassar, and when her marriage took her to England, she lent her efforts to the suffrage movement there. After her return in 1902, she became a key figure in revitalising the US suffrage movement and founded the League of Self-Supporting Women, which advocated pay for women's work in the home. This photograph was taken during her 1921 campaign for comptroller of the city of New York. You can't see the picture, but she's looking
cool,
stern. She's not wearing any makeup, is she?
Yeah, no, she's not. Let's have a look. No, she's got a key around her neck. Yeah, cool. If you have any other facts about her, let us know. We could maybe start tweeting like the women that we speak about. We can maybe start like tweeting out
Rosa Luxemburg.
Rosa Luxemburg.
That's who founded International Women's Day.
We'll tweet out about her as well.
Yeah, I'm sure she's in these cards somewhere. But if you've got somebody you want us to talk about, yeah, let us know. Who's your feminist icon?
Yeah, we'd love to hear it. Like, introduce us to new people.
Yeah.
Cool. I think that's it for us this time. As ever, any comments, questions? If you like us, tell your friends. If you don't, tell your enemies. And we'll see you guys.
See you in a month.